There we go. Okay, so welcome everyone. There are more than 100 people here. So that is really exciting. It's really great to have all of you here with us. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Siobhan Mitchell, and I'm the current board chair. Tonight, we are just gonna get right to it. And I'm so excited to be able to announce officially that the board has signed the lease for the site for our store. To tell you where that is going to be, I'm just going to go ahead and turn it straight over to Lauren Bell, our Director of Outreach and Communications, and he is actually live on location.
Hey everyone, hope you can hear me. If you can't, let me know in the chat. But Lauren Bell here, Director of Outreach and Communications for the co-op. I am so excited, and I hope you all are as excited as we are to introduce you to our future home. As we said in the messaging for this exciting site announcement, it has been 9 years, almost 1,700 proud co-op owners, more than 100 volunteers, hundreds of events, literally hundreds of events, spreading the word. And here we are, standing in front of the future home of our community-owned grocery store. And I think we all have a lot to celebrate and be proud of. Well, I guess that begs the question, where are we? So in this direction, this is Route 62. Maynard downtown is about a half mile that way, just a half mile that way. We are at 86 Powder Mill Road, also known as Victory Plaza, literally a half mile from downtown. And I'm just going to swing you around here. A lot of you have been to this plaza many times. It is the home of Jam Time, Advanced Auto Parts. You can see the parking lot stretches all the way down that direction. Maynard Village Pizza. And behind me here is where our future community-owned grocery store will be. So you can see that right there. We are super excited to bring vibrancy to this space and to Maynard with a full-service community-owned grocery store that's really a draw for thousands of people across the region. And of course, a grocery store that finally gives all of our local farmer and producer friends a place to sell their food 7 days a week, all year round. This will allow us to build a 6,000 plus square foot retail grocery store, a sizable co-op grocery store, including all grocery departments, as well as bulk foods, prepared foods, and a cafe. Sam is going to fill you in on a few of those details now, with more to come in the coming weeks. This is our future home. You guys are going to become very familiar with it over the coming weeks and months. And now I am going to turn it back over to Sam, who can discuss some of those additional details of the site. And we're looking forward to all the details unfolding in the coming weeks and months, and taking you, our owners, along for the journey to opening day. Thank you guys so much.
All right, well, it's over to me. And if you are in view and you're still seeing Lauren's face, you can change it to speaker view, and then you should see my face. All right, so we are so excited to share this. We've been in the works over the summer on this, and I know we've been so vague, and I appreciate everyone's patience so much as we went through negotiations and been working with the Coffin Development Group on what is a really awesomely viable site for the co-op. And I want to be able to share a few more details, keeping in mind, as we do, I think this has been talked about before, with our visioning goggles, keeping in mind that there's a lot of partnership and work with the town to make certain features of the site possible. And so I'm going to show you a few photos to give everyone a better sense, if you're not familiar with this exact location, just kind of how it's oriented in space. So we're gonna go on a very brief visual tour together. See if my screen sharing works here. All right, so can everyone see this? I hope you can. We are moving forward. There we go. Here we are. We're looking down on what has been known for many years now, Victory Plaza. We have a real benefit here that we're working with some core tenants who are already in the plaza who are interested in seeing other folks come into the space. The Kaufman Development Group has been very interested in bringing grocery back into the space, knowing the history of the plaza and that this used to be a grocery store. We're looking at a site with great parking potential. And again, we're working with the town to make sure that everything is within compliance to current code. We're also interested in being able to offer the town and you, our co-op owners, the possibility of a deck at the back of the building here. And to orient you to where our space is, it's this back area here. So Lauren was standing out front and we're looking at the co-op as like a nice big L in the back here. And I'll show you that in more detail in a moment. But one of the things we're interested in is working with the town to see if it's possible to have a deck out back. And what this would do is allow us to have a beautiful view of the river, offer, you know, some cleanup to the back area there, and to support the continued protection of the Assabet River region, and also to provide a lovely view for you to have some lunch or dinner out back there on the deck. Next, we're going to look in a little bit closer. This is the actual space, and it's this shape is what we're getting. So we're taking over a few different portions of the building, and the main portion here, if you looked at this, is a long rectangle, is going to be our future retail space. And I know this takes some visioning. Siobhan could tell you when we first started looking at this site that she struggled with the visioning, and then we walked through the space and she goes, I see how this fits together. So it'll be a nice long bit of a narrow space, but 6,000 square feet is still a decent amount of space. And when you walk through, it'll be really wonderful to be able to share renderings in the future. So we have more of, seeing what it will be, less imagination. And again, working with the town to make sure that we could potentially put a deck back here and put a loading dock on the back of the building. And we look forward to those opportunities coming up this fall. And then last but not least, we have a fun sketch that was put together by an artist who worked with us last year on the last site, and just wanting to bring a bit of life and a bit of imagination to what this space can look like. Now, we're not holding these details as a golden rule, but just imagining what kind of color and life we'll be able to bring to this space, and just how excited we are to be looking at the near future, looking into 2022, and having an open store where we all can shop and have community space and community together. And that this project, I fully recognize that this has been so many years for many of you involved in this startup project, and that there's so much trust involved in that. And I can't express how much we appreciate that. And speaking on behalf of the board, especially, who's been involved in this for a long time, how much it's appreciated that you all worked through the really tough startup years to get to this point where we can work towards opening. This is the start of the road to opening day. So I can't say how overjoyed I am to help be a part of this point in time with you all. And as we look towards the future, just a few things to keep in mind. We have signed a lease on this site. We are moving forward. We're going to have a lot of things that we're going to be communicating with you all and with the public about what exactly is coming up in the near future and how we can ask you all to show up. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out on your email. Keep an eye out in your spam folder, because we have found that sometimes our listserv emails will end up in your spam folder. But also keep an eye on social media. We'll be keeping updates there as well once we go public. We're going to share this announcement tomorrow with the public. And we wanted to give you all the opportunity this evening to see this first. And we ask most directly, besides all the things in the future, most directly this week, no matter how many people we think have heard about this co-op, let us just lift the roof and share this with all of your friends and family. This is happening. We're going to have a lot of content that's going to be generated in the coming weeks to help show people what this space will look like. And as we work with the town, we'll have even more and more detail that we can share. So we encourage you to share with your friends and family that the co-op will be aiming to open. We're looking at 2022 to open, and send people to our website, send people to our info at, if if they just have questions and don't know and aren't sure about becoming an owner. So feel free to send them along to us. And beyond that, we are looking at phase 2 of our capital campaign. We had an amazingly successful capital campaign last fall, and we reached about 3/4 of our goal. So we're looking to complete that this fall. So we're going to have capital campaign phase 2. So please look out for that. If you already know about it and you weren't sure the last time around, if you have questions based off of what you already knew, feel free to reach out to our campaign at assabetmarket.coop email. And look out for contact from our lovely, wonderful volunteer callers. I can't thank them enough for how much time and effort they put into that process. So if they give you a call and they want to talk about the campaign, give them just a minute to be able to do that, because I promise you it's with the best of intentions and they just love talking about this wonderful co-op. So with that, I am at the end of what is our live site announcement. And we're just overjoyed that you all could be here with us this evening. Siobhan, is there anything we need before we wrap up this evening?
I don't believe so. Just that there are so many people here. People have been adding lots of comments into the chat. Thank you so much. We do keep the chat as part of the recording. And if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. Obviously, we can't do a live Q&A when you have 110 people on a single Zoom, but please do let us know. And somebody would be absolutely delighted to get back to you.
Yes, and I will say, just seeing a couple of things in here, if you missed the initial part of the announcement, just to wrap it up, the site that we have signed a lease with the Kaufman Development Group for is at 86 Powder Mill Road. That is the Victory Plaza. So if you missed that at the beginning, that is the specific location. And we are so excited for these future opportunities. Keep an eye out. Lauren is a champion, and he's going to be messaging people about the Q&A opportunities coming up over the next couple of weeks leading into our owners meeting. So please attend the owners meeting as well. We have a lot of important stuff, but more than anything, we're going to have even more information about the site there. So we're really looking forward to a number of opportunities in the coming weeks to connect, to share information about the site, and more than anything, to look forward to the future, because we're on the way there. If you want to unmute yourselves, now is the moment.
I'll stop recording. We'll stop recording. And